Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us today on this beautiful Tuesday. At least it's a beautiful Tuesday here in Oklahoma. I am loving the weather. I mean, it's going to be getting hot again, but we had some nice and rain this past couple days and nice temperatures. But we are going back up into the hundreds again here soon. This time of year, it's just so finicky. You never know what you're going to get. But welcome, everybody. I look forward to chatting with you. I would love to hear from you guys where you guys are all joining us from. I see a lot of familiar names and faces in the chat. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. And I'm glad that you were all able to join so far today. We're going to be talking all about fall seed starting. So, both indoors and outdoors, and answering any questions that you guys might have. And then we also have a, um, yeah, uh, Dale, can you get a winner from last week? Because we do need to announce we do have a winner for the giveaway from last week. But we're going to be doing another giveaway today. We're going to be giving away a 1 year premium from Seed to Spoon app subscription, a Smart Pot, which are these amazing fabric containers and raised beds. And Smart Pots is actually in the chat with us today. Hi, Smart Pots. They're located here in Oklahoma City as well, so it is amazing we get to hang out with them. Um, and then also some of the Park Seeds So Effortless carrot seeds, which those are my favorite. If you guys haven't seen or heard about their So Effortless collection, they are amazing. They are just so they have these carrot tapes that it's a seed tape essentially. So it's very thin paper that you can plant. They have round discs that you can plant of things. They have mats. It just makes it so effortless, which I love the name because it's so true. So all of those things are going to be part of our giveaway today, and then we're also going to be doing not only a giveaway for this class today. We're going to be for one of you guys. We're also going to be doing a giveaway announcing it right after this one and announcing it at the beginning of next one, just like we're doing it right now. All you need to do to be entered to win is comment and say hi, introduce yourself, let us know where you're gardening from, any questions you might have, and yeah, we will announce a winner at the end of this workshop and then also at the beginning next week for the one afterwards. Okay, so Dale says he has a winner from last week pulled. Okay. Congratulations, Christina G. So hopefully, if you are not live, you will see this here soon. I'll also comment on your comment that you entered to win with. And email us at info@seedtospoon.net and we will get you set up with your prize. Yay! Well, so today we're going to be talking all about fall seed starting, and let's jump on in too. And like I said, if you guys have any questions at all, please pop them in the chat. It's very informal. We pop up questions throughout and answer any questions that you might have. If we don't get to them in the middle, we try to answer as many as we can at the end. So we will hopefully be getting to all of you. Hi, Mary from Seattle. Oh, beautiful. Oh, Kansas City. Great. Hi. And Southern Colorado. Wow. We have people from everywhere. Oh, awesome. I'm so glad that you love the live streams. Hey, someone from South Carolina. Oh my gosh. We really do have someone from everywhere. I feel like, my goodness. Hi, Jan. Oh, goodness. Okay. So, and like I said, I'm here in Oklahoma in zone 7. And all of these things we're going to be talking about today apply really for a lot of everybody. So, a little bit for everybody we'll cover. So, no worries. I know we have somebody from everywhere. Okay. Well, Miss Alex M., we will be talking about when to start fall seeds here in I might actually be one of the first slides after I have the giveaway reminder. I always have to put this in here in case I forget to mention it. So this is our giveaway right here. I already just mentioned it. So, um, like I said, we will announce the winner at the very end. If you guys um, make sure you comment over here to the side, and we will be entering you in to win for it. Okay, yes. So here is the answer to your question right here. Um, so there's a really easy way to know when to start your seeds, and it is the from seed to spoon. So I actually don't think I really mentioned it at all yet. So my husband and I are the creators of the From Seed to Spoon app. We started gardening back in 2015 and really wanted to have an app to make it easier, so we didn't have to be carrying around all these books with us and all of that. So it just made it a whole lot easier to keep track of so many different things along the way. And one of the biggest things that it helps me with is how to know when to plant, because everything is so different, and there's a lot of math sometimes. You have to do like 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost date. So then you have to see, okay, when was my frost date? And then how many weeks? Yeah. So I always just look at the app. The app is going to calculate it all out for you. So you don't have to do any sort of calculations yourself. It'll automatically pull frost dates based on your closest weather station, and it'll do the math for you. So on the main screen, whenever you first download the app, and by the way, if you don't already have the app, make sure you download it. There's that QR code right at the top of the screen right there. Scan that if you don't have it and follow along. Um, but it's really easy to know when to start your seeds, because on the main screen, you can scroll down just a little bit and there's a plant now section. So this is pulling from our list of plants that we have in the app and calculating out if it is time to be planting now. So this could be planting outside, it could be planting inside. They'll all have specific instructions on them. There's also a plant soon right next to it too, if you want to see what's coming up in your area also. There's also a planting calendar as well, if you want to see it in a visual way, which I'm a very visual person, so I love that. And then also in any plant details screen, you are going to see the planting dates right there calculated out. So it'll have the planting calendar along with the spring planting dates, if you can plant it in the summer, and then also the fall planting dates too, which is what we're talking about today. So all of these plants will have the fall planting dates right there. And those are pretty much just calculated out, so that way you can make sure you get harvest before your fall frost. Um, but a lot of the things we're talking about today too can tolerate a lot of the temperatures in some of the ways too, in some places. So a lot of places, like it'll say in the plant detail screen as well if they can tolerate any sort of frost, temperatures, or anything like that. So yes, make sure that you check that out right there. So, first of all, I wanted to talk a little bit about the main things that are going to be started, and I'm going to focus on indoors first, at least indoors for me. I know for it's always different for other people, but here in Zone 7, we need to start our things like broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, those type of things. We need to make sure that we start these indoors, because right now, with the way our temperatures are flip flopping everywhere and the 100-degree temperatures, they would not last. So, but I need to get them started so that way I can get them harvested before we have extreme weather. So, yeah, there's a fine line right there. So, with a lot of these, I'm starting them indoors to get them ready to go. Um, Now, kohlrabi, I will say, is one that I could push because it has a really fast harvest time. So that one, you don't necessarily need to be starting it indoors, but I typically do as well, because I have them with all of these, and that way I can have a lot of. Um, oh no, am I hearing that my audio isn't working? Voice keeps fading in and out. Uh-oh. Hopefully, somebody let me know. You guys can hear me okay. Um, hopefully we're all good. Dale's running, grabbing my mic. I have we're in a different room right now than we usually are. I'm in the bedroom because we have kids at home right now sick, and they are out there right now, and hopefully I won't have to be going out there. But Dale is my backup. He will hop in if I need to run out there and help. So he's running and grabbing my mic for me. I'm very sorry about the audio issues. We have a new mic coming right now. Okay, let's see. Let's plug it in. Hopefully this will work. Fingers crossed. Okay, let's switch over to it. Give me just a second. Sorry, everybody. Okay, it should be from the new microphone. Hopefully, can everybody hear me? Okay, I hope that works a little bit better. Somebody let me know. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Audio's better now. Okay, fingers crossed that will stay that way. Okay. Um, Sorry for that interruption. You never know what can happen in the live stream, right? It. There was one time I know for some of you a different story, or maybe some of you were there for this, but this was like I don't know, like 4 years ago or something. It was a really long time, and we had a bird fly into our house in the middle of it. Okay, they're saying I'm still breaking up. Hmm. Okay. Well, sitting on the table out there. Okay. You're. Oh man, it's worse. Ah, man. Okay. Well, let me go back then to just off if it worse. My goodness. Okay. Let's see if I can connect to this. Okay. Well, some people say that I sound good. Some people, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's better without the mic. Okay.
Okay, we can roll with it. They can hear us. They say.
We'll this way. But yeah, so I was saying there was one live stream that had a bird just fly into the house, and it just started doing circles up in our room, and we're like, "What?" It was crazy, absolutely crazy. Um, so, anyways, this having technological issues is definitely not fun either. Okay. Anyways, okay. Hopefully we're all good now. If we have any issues, let me know. Anyways, so things like broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, those things I like to start indoors because they take a little bit longer to go about getting started, and they won't be growing in our 100-degree temperatures that we have coming out in the garden right now. So we want to make sure that we get a lot of these started indoors. And then, so I do want to talk about indoor seed starting just a little bit. Um, the way that I love to do these, I know I always talk about this park seed biodome. It is the best thing that we have found to seed start. I I mean, it's just hands down the easiest thing ever to do. And they just have these little, if you haven't seen them before, they're just these trays with those blocks inserted right there, and then these bio sponges, which it already has a pre-drilled hole in it. You just drop one seed into each one, put some water on the very bottom of the tray, and the sponges will soak them up. And I get nearly 100% germination rate every time. It works so good, even for the really hard to start things like herbs, flowers. Sometimes, like yeah, the biodome is so much better for me, and it makes it just way simpler, foolproof, all of that. Because I just plant it and then I put the lid on and then I walk away, and I check it a couple days later, and I typically have a bunch of sprouts. Um, but that is something that I do all the time, and especially for these brassicas, things like that I'm gonna be starting, this is how I'm going to be doing it, and I'm just gonna be growing them under some grow lights. You can do specific, like, tabletop grow lights like this that we have set up, Or you can just do things like LED lights. Some of these you can even just terminate in like a southern window or something like that. You don't need to have like anything like super expensive or anything like that for starting seeds indoors, especially if you're just going to be just starting them indoors and then transplanting them outdoors. LED lights will work perfect. And you can just get like regular shop lights and just put them right over top of them. And it works really well. So, especially for the level that I'm starting in the fall, because the brassicas are really the only things that I'm going to be starting indoors right now. So that way, it's perfect. And the setup, you don't really need a whole lot to get those started. So there are a few issues that you might run across in seed starting, not always, but sometimes. So one of the oh, this is a great question from Bill. So do you need top or bottom heat? So whenever you are starting these brassicas, you don't need to have any heat at all, actually, because they are cool season. So they don't have to have any sort of heat like peppers or tomatoes whenever you're going about germinating those. They don't need anything. So it makes it even more simple, right? Um, so a few things that you might have issues with, I will say, are leggy seedlings. That's pretty much that's one of the biggest things I will see. And what I mean by leggy seedlings, it's this picture right here. You can kind of see they look a little like spindly, tall, like they're reaching for the light. So with those, it is um, typically an issue with the light being too far away. So with that, I have this other picture over here, and it's kind of hard to see. I should have taken a closer up picture, but I wanted to show the fan over there too. Um, but there are these little poles, yeah, these things, hangers right here. These right here are lifesavers. So you can adjust the how the light is, like if it's like right over the plants, you can move it up and down. Really, really simple. With these adjustable hangers right here, you just pull them. They're just like little levies. Like it's so great. So that's something you can make your life so much simpler by having something just like that. Because that is honestly the biggest cause of leggy seedlings is that. Um, and then I also wanted to include this picture over on the other side of a fan because I always have a fan set up in my seed starting area because one of the common issues as well is like mold development, fungus, also gnats, and those things can easily be solved with a fan. And also, if you have any sort of leggy seedlings, a fan will also help as well to boost them, get them stronger, and it'll help your plants to your seeds to get stronger, just so they're more prepared for going outdoors as well. So this is a great question. How much light and depth of planting seed? So everyone is actually going to be a little bit different. So whenever I'm starting in the biodome, it's super simple. I just drop one into the hole. Um, if it is a really tiny seed, sometimes I'll just set one like on top of that sponge. But typically, like I just drop one in every hole right there. Um, Besides there is a section within the app that shows exactly how you should be planting seeds, but a really good rule of thumb, like the smaller the seed is, the less deep you're going to plant it. The bigger the seed, the more deep you're going to plant it. So that's just an easy way to kind of remember how to go about planting. And with the lights, I typically have a timer set for um, for like 12 hours on, 12 hours off. I try to mimic my natural sunlight as close as possible. So that way they can kind of get used to having some sunlight and some breaks from it as well. You don't want to get too much. Um, so a lot of like the mold and fungus, even the gnats and things like that can be prevented by just simply having like clean equipment, sterile equipment. So one thing we do, I included a picture of bleach down here because we do wash all of our seed starting equipment with just a mixture of a little bit of mulch and a lot of water. I think it's like 9 to 1. Um, and then just we rinse off all of our seed starting equipment and before we get started, and then we are all good to go. And that'll help to prevent a lot of your mold issues, things like that that you get. But if you did not do that and you have issues, you can make sprays with like just hydrogen peroxide. If you're having that issues, things like the red pepper, ground cinnamon, like sprinkling that, even some diatomaceous earth, you can use all of those indoors and just sprinkle those right on top of your seedlings. And a lot of times, like that will do enough. Even the cinnamon even helps for mold too, the fungus. So, um, and then there are organic sprays that you could use as well. I use the yellow sticky traps, things like that in my seed starting area as well as outdoors. Like those yellow sticky traps can help to collect any of those little fungus gnats, things like that that might be attracted to these seedlings. And then also, a lot of times, I just want to make sure I clarify. You need to make sure that you are doing a lot of the um, bottom watering too, and not giving it too much water. Because a lot of the times, if you have a bunch of water down below that sits in it, it will attract all of these the gnats and things like that. So if you are watering from below, that helps. And then I also like I'll go back in about 30 minutes later and dump out the excess water as well. So that is that is something that will really help you with the with preventing any issues in seed starting. Okay, and then some of the cool season green. So some of these you can be starting indoors, but also I direct seed a lot of these outdoors, especially this time of year. But sometimes it is going to be, I mean, it's going to be different for wherever you live. So if you want to get a head start on some of these, and it's still really hot in your area, you may want to start some of your greens indoors so you can go through and transplant them out. But a lot of the time, like for us here in zone 7, we will be planting out these cool season greens just by direct seed outside. And I will say there are a lot of, I know sometimes you don't have a lot of time left in your season two, especially up north. So I wanted to point out too that within the app, you can look at the days to harvest and sort all of the seeds by these days to harvest. So some of these right here are a lot faster. So like this one right here says 27 days. So some of these are really fast. Some of them are a lot longer. So if you are somewhere up north, you might want to find one that is a lot faster. So that way you have plenty of time to grow it and harvest it before you get your extreme temperatures in the wintertime. But I will say a lot of these do last for me like all winter long, especially things like kale. Um, I absolutely love growing kale, especially in the fall time because the like it's always alive. It's always doing amazing for me. But whereas things like lettuce, pretty much it does well with a very light frost, but then once it goes down, any more than that, like the lettuce will be done. But um, spinach is another one that does pretty well too. And Swiss chard is one of my favorites. I will say, if you guys have grown Swiss chard before and you're not a fan, try growing it in the fall because it tastes so much different. In the fall, it tastes like almost sweet whenever you harvest it. Whenever you harvest these, it makes a huge difference. The temperature's out, how it tastes. So especially with Swiss chard, it is something that doesn't taste amazing if you harvest it in the spring. But I'm a huge fan of Swiss chard in the fall. So I always make sure that we plant a whole bunch of Swiss chard in the fall. It is amazing. And especially for things like tortilla replacements, because they're very large leaves. I love them. Absolutely love them. Okay, can carrots be started indoors? So I would definitely not recommend it. So any of those root crops or and anything like that. I'm not going to be starting indoors because whenever you transplant them, you risk it getting damaged, and they're so sensitive also. So I always make sure that I take any of these and I direct sow all of my root crops. But yeah, I have more about those things here in a minute too. Okay. Oh yes, Yvette. Thank you for bringing up mustard greens. I Why do I always forget to include mustard? I
Because you hate mustard.
Yes, because I hate mustard. I know, but I love mustard greens because they are super pretty. But I'm not a fan of the taste of them, but they are very pretty to grow. But yes, 100% this mustard would be a cool season green. Like these are just the most common ones. These are not all of them. There are definitely other greens that you could be growing in this season as well. There is a filter too within the app that you can just look at the cool season plants, so that way you can see the whole list of things like that. I just pulled out a few of the most common ones. But yeah, Dale's favorite way to eat those mustard is just by taking a mustard leaf, popping it on a hamburger. He says it's amazing. That way you get all of the health benefits of eating healthy and the good taste. Not taste for me, but yeah, for a lot of people. So if you like the taste of mustard, you will love growing mustard greens, and you should try it because it's super pretty. Okay, so flowers. I do want to mention a few of my favorite flowers that are absolutely beautiful that you can grow that are really good from seed right now. So some things you can still be starting and they tolerate a lot of places winters even sometimes. I've heard people say that their snapdragons last sometimes the entire winter. Really just depends on where you live. But these are all ones that will at least tolerate a frost for you and they will do really well. And these are ones that you can start now. You can get some blooms in before it gets too cold. And snapdragons are probably one of my favorites. They are so pretty. They're huge and they're just so fun to play with, and the kids love them. Um, but really, I know everybody always thinks about like pansies and violas. Like those are the most common things I feel like that everybody always talks about for fall gardens. And it's for a reason. They do really well in the really cold temperatures. So those are ones that if you want to get some fall blooms in and add some color into your garden, definitely be planting a lot of these. So I always recommend planting a lot of flowers because it's not only going to help you with pest issues, but it's also going to help bring in pollinators, things like that. And then, okay, I only container garden. Do cool season vegetables do okay in containers? Absolutely. I plant a majority of my cool season things in containers. I grow them all in smart pots. They do really well. If it does get too cold, I can just easily take it and bring it indoors if I'm getting really extreme temperatures. But I even have like a rosemary plant that's in it's in like a 20-gallon smart pot, and it does really well in there. As long as like I keep things like mulched and all of that, you'll be just fine. So herbs are another things that are terrific to add into your fall garden. So a lot of our favorites we're going to be planting by seed this fall. We're going to be doing a lot of cilantro. That's probably one of our favorites. I know people either love it or hate it. If it tastes like soap to you, sometimes people think it tastes like soap. I think it tastes amazing. But I love cilantro, and cilantro is something that I feel like I just toss a few seeds out and we have cilantro forever in that area because we just let it go to seed at the end of the season and then it just reseeds itself. So we pretty much don't need to plant cilantro anymore unless we want it in a new area or in a specific container. But pretty much we have cilantro every cool season. It's an amazing, amazing herb. I love it. Parsley is another one that is a great. Yes, cilantro season is back. It's exciting. I know. I can't wait. And if you guys have not grown cilantro as a microgreen before, you should check it out too. Sorry, off topic. I know. We'll talk about microgreens at another time. But cilantro is probably one of my favorites, and it tastes incredible. Absolutely love it. And it is gorgeous too. Super pretty. Anyways, I digress. I'm off topic now. But parsley is another really good one. All of these other ones. So I did want to throw in still like rosemary, thyme, oregano, even though these ones are extremely difficult to start by seed. You can still start from seed. And I have in the Park Seed Biodome, they actually were successful. It was really cool. It was really fun. It was the very first time I was actually able to germinate some herbs. It was really cool. But these ones are generally ones that are going to be better by propagating herbs. And what I mean by propagating herbs is by essentially like cloning the plant. So if you have a rosemary plant that's doing really well, you can simply just go out there and take cuttings from it. And just all you do is you take cutting right there and then take off the bottom leaves of it, and we dip it in this rooting hormone. It's not needed, but it's something extra that we do that tends to it tends to help it. And then we put it in some water for a little bit, or you can pop it directly into the biodome too. It worked so good by doing that. I Over the fall last year, I did this for a lot of our rosemary and thyme plants that we had, and thyme is one of my favorites. It's just so pretty, and rosemary, so pretty. So I did like half thyme, half rosemary in a biodome. I made a lot of plants, and I just had green all winter long because of these. Like, you can just pop it into one of these domes, put the lid on for the Park Seed Biodome. It worked so good for propagating. I'm definitely going to be doing this again this season for sure. And it doesn't even necessarily need to be under a whole bunch of grow lights. I did especially in the beginning. And then I just kind of brought them out and put them like in windowsills and things like that. And we have like several in our sunroom and things like that. But generally the ones that you're going to want to propagate are the ones with like the woody stems. So things like rosemary and thyme and oregano, things like that do really well with propagation. Oh, yep. Did I miss any big ones? I think I covered the biggest ones right there. Oh, and basil. Like, I know people that do that, but basil's super easy to start from seed too. But okay, so those plants that we went through. Okay, so Jody says, do you need to put a cloning collar around the cuttings you put in the seed plugs? I'm not sure what Jody means. Do you?
No, we don't need it for that.
Okay. Dale says no, we do not need that. Thank you. Okay, so hardening off transplants. I wanted to make sure that we talked about this too, because if you are going to be starting seedlings indoors, you need to make sure that you are hardening them off before you bring them outside, or else all of your hard work that you're going to have is going to go kapooey and your transplants are not going to make it. So you want to make sure that they are getting used to their environment that they are going to be going into, and just kind of baby them along. Really what I do whenever they start getting at least like 2 or more true leaves and the temperatures are getting close to the temperatures I want them to be in, so things like 80s even, I can be bringing them out there. So I will start to gradually give them more vacations, and like they have like little recesses outside where they go and hang out with all the other big plants, and they go out there. I gradually increase the time in the sunlight over the course of like a week or two. And then I put them in the ground from there. Or the container, wherever they're going to be going. But I just gradually go through and just gradually expose them little bit by little bit, more and more each day. So that way they don't get shocked. If you've ever heard of like transplant shock, things like that, this will help all of those. And I do this for plants that I've started indoors, plants that I get at nurseries, even because those are used to being babied also, like under covers. They're used to being in like, in the nurseries. And I always try and go through this method right here just to try to ease them into transplanting outdoors. And then also, so things that we're going to be working about direct seeding outdoors. So things that I have these out of order, I think, right here. Yep, here we go. So things that you're going to be direct seeding outdoors are going to be more like your root crops and things like that. So we had that question earlier, if you could start carrots indoors. So I definitely would be doing more of these ones outdoors and direct seeding them. So yeah, things like carrots, radish, beets, parsnips, all of those, I go through and start all of those outdoors, sorry. And I just direct seed all of these. And it's also time to, I know they're not seeds, but garlic and onion sets and potato starts, things like that. You can also get started. Those are all cool season too. And things like garlic too thrive. They will thrive in the temperatures right now. They want to go through a freeze. So they're going to be doing that. That's where they're going to be doing really good. So let's see, let me go back to, yes. So tips right here for seed starting carrots, especially because I feel like carrots are one of the more difficult one that everybody always struggles with. That's definitely one that we struggled with too. And just because like the seeds are super tiny, if you've ever seen them, they are incredibly small. So it's very difficult to just get like one or two in each hole. And even then, like they take a little bit to germinate. So you need to make sure to keep the soil super moist whenever it is going through and getting started. So one tip that I always give is by laying down some burlap or something like that over top of your seeds and watering that in really well. And that will help to keep the soil moist so you won't have to water quite as often. But once they will germinate, you do need to make sure that you remove that so the sun can get to them. But it's just a really great way to help and keep them just to keep them moist while they're germinating because they are super sensitive. And then also seed tape is super simple. Like I told you, those seeds are just so small. The seed tape, the seeds are already spaced out in there perfectly for you. And also it makes it so simple. You can just lay it down into the soil and just cover it up exactly as it is. And that's it. You don't have to go through it and thin them down. Like if I planted them by seed, there's a given that I'm going to have like 5 seeds pretty much in each hole. That's just how it is for me. But with the seed tape, it makes it so much simpler. I don't have to go through and do all that. Okay, so Lisa has a question. Do you plant the bulb from the garlic? So you will go through and plant just so not the entire bulb of garlic. It's just going to be the clove. So like if you break apart the garlic, just plant one garlic clove. So each one of those is going to be planted out whenever you do it, and it will grow an entire bulb for you. Okay. So yeah, so that seed tape that I was talking about too, that's So Effortless too. That So Effortless collection that Park Seed has. And I'm a huge fan of them right here. So I was excited that it's one of our giveaways that we're giving away too today. So Make sure you guys are commenting to enter to win, because this stuff is awesome and it is the perfect time to plant it too. Okay, and then I definitely could not talk about fall without talking about peas. Peas are definitely a staple, at least in our garden, every fall and spring. Peas are incredible. They will need a trellis to climb up, but once they will climb up and they will do it all themselves. Like, you won't even really have to do much to help them along. They will take over, and one single plant will give you so many peas. And our favorites are just growing these sugar snap peas, and we just take them and eat them directly off of the vine outside. And we hardly ever take any inside just because they taste so good. We are typically fighting the kids over them. Just all of us are out there just pulling them and just munching on them while we're out in the garden. It's amazing. So if you've never grown peas before, you totally need to try it out. It's something that it's so tasty, and you can get a lot of bang for your buck, especially with peas. So, do you soak your seeds? So, it can definitely help with peas for sure. Yeah, you don't necessarily have to at all, but it will help to make it go a little bit faster for you. But yeah, there are smaller, like container size varieties of peas if you don't have a large area. If you pop them up against like a fence line, a chain link fence, things like that, it can work really, really good. I love sugar snap peas, and they never get to. Yes, I know, right? They're so good. I always say, I'm like, you snooze, you lose. If you're not out in the garden, you're not going to get the peas. They go really fast. They go really fast. So yeah, so peas are definitely a fan of not only people. Wow. Apparently Michelle's dog loves peas as well. That's funny. I don't think, well, we have our garden behind a fence because we have chickens and goats and all of that, as well as a dog. So I'm not sure if our dog likes pea. I'm going to have to try it. I'm going to have to give her a pea and see what she thinks. Although I don't know if I want to share either, though. Okay. And then, oh, I did want to mention too. So make sure that you do log all of the seeds that you started in the From Seed to Spoon app. Don't forget that there's a section in there to log and track all of your plants. So whenever I'm going through and doing this, I go through like this. These are ones that I just started recently, right here, this hot peppers, because I was starting some kitchen minis, so I could be having some tomatoes and peppers all winter long. So I just started some brand new rounds of it, but I love it too, because like right here you can see it's going to be having estimated seed sprouting dates, and also projected first harvest times, which is super helpful for you. I love it. I love keeping track of everything, and you can go in and make notes about it. You can take pictures and put them in there, and log events, when you watered, fertilized last, all of that. It'll help keep you way organized. But also there's a new feature that we just released too. I know our beta group, I have some of you guys in here that have been helping test our seed scanning packet ability. And we actually just released this today, right? Didn't the update come out today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it came out today. That's exciting. So this ability, so whenever you go in and try to add a custom plant, so if there's a plant that you are growing that is not on our list, you can still log it and track it and get all the estimated dates and all of that. All you need to do, just go in here, add custom plant, and then you can scan seed packet now. So you just hit that button to scan the seed packet, take a picture of it, and it will automatically fill out all of the information that it can find for it. And then it'll create a plant for you. And then you can go through and add them to your garden. So then these ones you can start to keep track of too. It's exciting, and yeah, I'm obsessed with this new feature. It's so time saving. It's going to be great. So I wanted to make sure that I pointed that out. So I'm really excited for you all to see it the very first day that it is released. Woohoo! Okay, so Hazel says, what brand or varieties of seeds would you recommend? So I will say I am partial to Park Seed. I will say that even though we do work for the Park Seed, I even being partial from that, I will always buy Park Seeds even if I'm not with them, because I have tried other seeds, and then whenever we switched over to Seeds, I was just amazed at the germination rate difference. Like before, I would put in like 3 seeds in each place and maybe get like one that would sprout, and then now it's like pretty much everyone goes, and it's amazing. Their quality of seeds is just so much better. They store all of their seeds. Like we've been out to their facility out in South Carolina, and they store all of their seeds refrigerated in the dark. Like they take really good care of their seeds, and they care a lot, and they're testing them every single season, making sure that it is not just at their germination rate, it is above where it should be. And they're pretty great. So I always recommend Park Seed. Okay, so Charlotte says, is the ability to log your plants only available with a premium app? So everybody gets the ability to log 10 free plants, and you will never lose that. You can also do a premium and get unlimited plants. But even if you go in and try a free trial, everything you have done is always going to be there. You're not going to lose anything if you decide not to stick with it. So don't worry, nothing will ever be lost. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Or do we want to do, okay. AJ says, I am dealing with very sandy conditions. What suggestions do you have for successful crops? So I would recommend doing additions of compost. That can really help too. I would want to make sure that you're staying on top of things like nitrogen, because especially if you have sandy soil, it could possibly be washing out a lot faster. So you want to make sure that your plants are getting plenty of nitrogen. So I would definitely just keep an eye on your plants to fertilize and all of that. Okay. I have the app and the plant soon date doesn't match. Oh, yes. Thank you. So I noticed this too, because I was going in and I was like, what in the world? Because I use the app every day too. So we found a bug and it's actually fixed in the update that is going out today. So download the update and it'll fix it. So I'm sorry. It was a pain for me too, because I was like, what in the world is going on? So they hopped on it and they fixed it. So you're all good now. Okay, Victoria says, is this app only or can we access this on the web browser? So yes, we have a web version of the app that is app.seedtospoon.net. Maybe we can pop that up. And if you go there, you can log in. You can put your plants in that way. If it's easier for you to type it all out or type your notes in that way, you can do that. It's also, it just makes it a lot easier. I enjoy using this version sometimes too, because I can be faster typing on my computer than I can on my phone. But everybody has their own preferences. So we wanted to make it easy for everybody. Del City, great. You are right next door to us. So I'm having a lot of big grasshoppers showing up. How to scare them off? Okay, yes. Grasshoppers are a pain this year, aren't they? I feel like they're everywhere. But luckily, we have fought them all off with our chickens. I don't know where exactly you are in Del City if you have the ability to have chickens, but they can really be helpful. Also, I will say things like spiders, which people don't always like, but those orb weavers, especially those, I wish we had a picture of one that we could pop up because I have so many pictures of them. They are super fun. But they essentially they just make their webs and they just collect food. They're even good for squash bugs, even things like that. They are amazing hunters of grasshopper, because the grasshoppers get stuck in their webs and then they immediately just go in there and just wrap it all up. So those are awesome. I mean, grasshoppers are really just a pain though. So really just if you can't get chickens, you got to try other natural things. We have some like covers on top of some of our beds too. We make our own like PVC hoop houses that we put over top of some of our beds and have like insect netting on it or plastic sheeting if it's wintertime. But the insect netting should tell them a little bit about, it should help a little bit to keep the grasshoppers out. Oh, awesome, Chris. I'm so glad. Welcome. Yay. Well, hopefully this will help you out. And we do this every week too. Every single Tuesday, we are always talking all about gardening and answering questions and all that. So welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. And then also, we do have a Facebook group that you can join us also with. It's linked to our Facebook page. It's called like Grow Food with From Seed to Spoon or something like that. So yeah, join us there too and chat with us all week long. Oh, I missed the previous question.
It was the same person.
Oh, okay. Okay. So Lisa says, just getting on here. What time do you start this? I'm in California. Oh man, I'm really bad at time zone differences. So I do it at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time, which I think is 10 o'clock in California. So it would be 10 to 11, I believe, in your location. Okay, regarding garlic, do we plant mid-October? Mine in the past have sprouted. So, yeah, for sure. I always say pretty much as long as the ground is workable, you can go about planting them. But yeah, mid-October is great. You do like it's fine if they sprout. They'll just die back over the winter time and then they'll regrow back in the spring. So that's perfectly fine. That's what they do every year for us. They'll be about like this tall or so, and then the winter freeze will come, the tops will die off, and then they'll grow back in the spring. So you're good. Okay, so we are approaching time. Let's go ahead and do a giveaway, and then we will do a few more questions after that. So as a reminder, we are doing an amazing giveaway. We are doing the free 1-year premium From Seed to Spoon app subscription. So you can ask unlimited questions to Growbot, which you can now send pictures to Growbot too. I never even talked about that. Wow. There's just so many amazing benefits. You can send pictures, ask what's going on, what's wrong with your plant, what pest is this, what can I do to help? All of that. You can track and log as many plants as you want to. Free shipping also for all of your orders that you place through the app. So everything from the Park Seed website is located on our From Seed to Spoon app as well. So you can get free shipping for yearly subscribers. Awesome. And then also giving away some of the So Effortless Park Seed seeds that we talked about today. Those that seed tape. It's amazing. You will love it. And also Smart Pot. These fabric containers are amazing. I love them. We primarily have Smart Pots out in our garden. We use them all of the time and we've had them for years. Like they last and they're super durable, heavy duty, and our plants just thrive in them all the time. And so I am super excited to have them as a giveaway this week as well. Okay. So, yes, drum roll. Who's the winner? Bill Fenters. Congratulations, Bill. You are our lucky winner. So, email us at info@seedtospoon.net and we will get you hooked up with the 1-year premium app subscription and the Smart Pot and the seeds. And don't forget to, if you guys are watching this and you want to be a giveaway winner too, after the fact, you can come back in to after this closes and comment into either the YouTube or Facebook and add a new comment in there. Because afterwards, this live stream comments go away. But after, make sure you go through and comment again. And all of those comments will be entered into win. And I will announce that winner next week. So make sure you guys are commenting again afterwards because you will for sure want to get this amazing stuff. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Yeah, for sure. I absolutely agree that the free shipping itself is is benefit enough for getting that. Oh, this is the From Seed to Spoon app. So if you look up, even if you just type in gardening in any app store, whether you're in Apple or Android, just type in gardening too, and will be the top result there. So it's just the From Seed to Spoon. Okay. Do we have a couple more questions due? I think we're kind of running out of time here. Yes, pansies are edible. I haven't eaten them myself, so I am super excited to try them out. So if somebody else has eaten them before, I would love to hear. I would love to hear details about it. Okay. Are we still growing with green stalks? Yes, I do have several green stalks growing on our porch too. Right now I'm growing a basil tower and an herb tower. We have strawberries in one. We actually tried doing some beans too in one of them as well. We have we have several of them. That I'm a huge fan of the green stalk towers. They are incredible. Yeah. Okay. Will chives do well in the fall? Yeah, I mean chives, they'll die back, but they will come back them by themselves in the springtime, but they will still do really well for you throughout until you get frosts. Um Bill. Hi, Bill. Congratulations. Info@seedtospoon.net is where you will send us an email at. And we will email you back and get everything we need to get you taken care of. So Jan, all you need to do is afterwards, whenever this live stream ends, if you'll just go back into it and leave a comment there. So right now the comment's going to the live chat, and then afterwards, whenever this closes, it'll post the comment to the actual video itself, and that's where you will go about entering. Ooh, how many garlic varieties are you doing this year? Every single one that we can find. I will say that. We love to grow a whole bunch of different garlic, and Park has so many different options. They have purple garlic too, which is amazing. They have elephant garlic, which it's technically not garlic. It's like a cross between garlic and onions, but it's like this. It's huge. If you haven't tried it, I love it. That's why it's called elephant garlic. It's like a little weaker flavor too, so not quite as strong for those of you with maybe kids or things like that think it's a little bit stronger. It's a lot milder. I love it. Okay. Do we have any other? I guess it is. Oh, it is time, isn't it? Okay. Well, thank you so much for growing with us. For joining us today. I feel like this hour just flew by. They always do. So make sure you join us again next week. We do this every single Tuesday, and hopefully next week we won't have quite the issues that we did today. Fingers crossed. I probably just jinxed us, didn't I? But hopefully we will see you back again next week. We will be doing another amazing giveaway like we do every week. And then I'm not sure what we're talking about next week yet, but it'll be amazing. Make sure you join us. Follow us on social media too. I post pictures and videos all the time from our garden here in Oklahoma, and just sharing tips and tricks and things like that we've learned along the way. So I will see you all here again next week. See you guys.